Hey guys, this is going to be a video about Marvel movies. Marvel Studios is a superhero film company that garnered a large fan base in the past decade. Basically a global phenomenon that had people consuming the content like cocaine. You can look up Avengers Endgame reaction in theaters if you need proof. Anyway, I always had certain problems with Marvel movies, admittedly partially because I'm a contrarian hater, but I just wanted to document and articulate some of my thoughts and reasoning, specifically certain features that are prevalent in loads of Marvel movies that I found to be low quality and made me dislike them. For context, I think the Marvel Golden Age ended or peaked in 2019 and has died down enough now that there is decent criticism of the newer movies, which could also be due to decreasing movie quality. But in the previous era, you might remember, every single Marvel movie had insane hype and little criticism. I was lazy or didn't think/care to make this video for a bit, so these takes are maybe no longer hot now, but better late than never and the points still stand. For the analysis, we'll look at clips from the three most recent Marvel movies I saw in theaters: Black Widow, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, and we'll point out negative aspects of them that I think apply to pretty much every Marvel movie after 2014 or so. So, to give quick summaries of the movies whose clips we'll use as examples. Black Widow is a movie that shows a backstory adventure where Black Widow and her long lost Russian family go to defeat another Russian guy and his brainwashed female soldiers. Spider-Man No Way Home is a Spider-Man movie where the primary Spider-Man meets with other Spider-Men and villains from previous Spider-Man franchises due to a spell gone wrong that affected the multiverse. Doctor Strange 2 is a movie about Doctor Strange who is trying to rescue a girl named America, I don't know why that's her name, from the Scarlet Witch who is normally good but is bad in this movie. The outline for the analysis is as follows, starting with humor in Marvel movies. My thesis is this: at some point, Marvel decided that they were underutilizing comedy in their superhero movies. I think this was around Guardians of the Galaxy, which had a comic focus and did quite well. Over the years, they expanded this to the entire MCU, eventually making even originally dark characters like Thor into jokesters. Hence, the ensuing oversaturation of quantity of jokes per movie, accompanied by a quality drop of the jokes and overall content, similar to the state of Brooklyn Nine-Nine post Season 4. The first category of overused joke type in Marvel movies is deprecation. These are based on making fun of elements of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that the characters reside in, and they can be funny for the first time, but overall they're not that clever, and it's pretty uncreative to have your own content or world building as the premise of a lot of your jokes.
There was an incident with Spider-Man.
What, man?
Spider-Man, he has the powers of a spider.
Hence the name.
Gross.
Avengers! Yeah! That's great! Thank you! What is that?
Climbs walls, shoots webs.
Yeah, bingo.
Out of his butt?
Like, does it just come out of your wrists, or does it come out of anywhere else?
Callback. Another repeated type of joke is calling back to things from the same movie. I like this joke style a lot when it's done tastefully and organically, like when the setup has value of its own and you don't necessarily know that a punchline is coming. Instead, Marvel will generally have a forced feeling setup with a callback shortly after. Once you see the initial scene, the later payoff is extremely predictable.
You know it's ancient custom to bow in the presence of the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, I'm aware of the customs.
I want my song.
If I cried when I read about his widowed bride.
The next kind of issue is plot errors. In short, meaning when a story writer is not able to advance the story or universe in a sensical way and instead has to rely on logical holes to get it there. These exist in most movies, I'd say, but they are certain to be there in Marvel movies in fairly major ways. The first category is general, just BS or standard nonsense that is stupid enough in and of itself to break the suspension of disbelief, or is something that the plot seriously relies on to make sense, and of course doesn't.
When you could force America to send you to any universe you want, why take her power for your own? You know it will kill her.
For Billy and Tommy, to protect them. What if they get sick? In the infinite multiverse, there's a cure for every illness.
Their chance of getting help is way better back where they came from. Sending them home? That's the best thing that we can do for them.
For them? Or for yourself?
Is that an Archimedean spiral? The mirror dimension is just geometry? You're great at geometry. You could do geometry. Square the radius. Divide by pi. Plot points along the curve. You know what's cooler than magic? Math.
There is a pheromonal lock. Smelling my pheromones prevents you from committing violence against me.
Severity inflation. One understandable issue Marvel has is that in its universe, they want to make every movie seem super important. They don't want to decrease the intensity from the previous movie, otherwise, maybe fans will think the new movie is boring in comparison. Marvel's solution is to just make each movie stakes higher and higher, from the danger in New York to the world to the universe to the multiverse, even if it's just some side character's movie. This leads to obvious problems like why aren't the real heroes helping? Or why do we unnecessarily get into this high risk situation?
Too late for that. They're here. They're here because of you.
What if everyone forgot who I was?
What?
So cast a new spell, but this time make everyone forget who Peter Parker is.
No.
But it would work, right?
Yeah, it would work.
It's my network of widows that help me control the scales of power. One command, the oil and stock markets crumble. One command, and a quarter of the planet will starve. My widows can start and end wars.
Magic hacking. There's a story trope where some sort of magic contract is cleverly loopholed, and it's satisfying because the answer was solvable and right in front of the audience's faces.
I am no man.
However, this kind of thing only works if we understand the contract and are given enough time to process it. If you don't explain the conditions or the magic is just stupid, it ends up sucking. It's a lazy attempt to try to add smart callbacky stuff into the movie without having enough substance overall, similar to the humor episode callback stuff.
A dream-walking sorcerer projects their own consciousness from their universe into another.
But doesn't a version of you need to live in that universe so that you can dreamwalk into them?
Who said they had to be living?
For years, Dreykov has implemented a pheromonal lock. This is basic science. Natasha, to block receptors in olfactory center, you have to sever the nerve.
Sever the nerve.
Well, that's about it. Hope at least some of these points made sense to you. The thesis is obviously not that every Marvel movie is 100% terrible, just that the series as a whole is quite overrated with heavy reliance on humor that is formulaic and repetitive and contains plots that are not well thought out. That's just my analysis. Some might say I'm a hater, but after all, most people have been fully indoctrinated into this multi-billion-dollar universe cult at some point. So as the hater mantra goes, if I don't hate, who will? Thanks for watching.